in very specific circumstances. All considered, I will vote for Mr. Blanche. I'll be criticized for this vote. What's new?
All right, there you heard it. Looks like Todd Blanche is going to be confirmed. I repeat, Todd Blanche is going to be confirmed. Now, I don't know if this is good news or bad news to you, but there's a lot of negativity that surrounds Mr. Todd Blanche, and I mean that's all I'm gonna say about that as we get into this video.
The buildup was different from the decision. I think we can say that. He mentioned all the issues, the IRS audits, the weaponization fund, the DOJ bringing this never-ending cycle of political targets and going after your enemies, both presidents on Republican and Democratic side. But this nomination appears to still be above water.
And
Which is so crazy that if all of that has to be mentioned, that we are going after our political opponents, that we're basically acting in a way that seems more personal and political than, I don't want to say anything, but maybe that's just what's making the news. Like, that's sad to say that after all of that, after saying all of that, you still vote yes. Like, that to me is crazy. To get into the mind of a politician is crazy. But I will say this. I don't blame the politicians as much as you might as well just blame the voters. And as a voter myself, basically the unthoughtfulness that goes into voting for some of these people is the reason why we're in this situation to begin with. And our body politic is probably going to get worse because of it.
And if you saw there along with us, he got very emotional at the end there. Seemed to be like he took a pause and maybe had some tears in his eyes. Let's get out to Chad Pergram. He is our chief congressional correspondent. Chad, what did you take away from that?
Well, this probably means that Todd Blanche is going to be confirmed, maybe even later today, as the next.
I mean, to think, if he has tears in his eyes, like why would you have tears in your eyes? Like if you think you're doing the right thing, why do you have tears in your eyes? Like to me, some of this just seems like it's the cult-like behavior where you know you're doing the wrong thing, but like you're older, you have grandchildren, you're not trying to be harassed for the rest of your life, like you and your family. And I feel like the way that our politicians have gone about things recently has just basically inflamed that. Like these people are thinking more about their personal life than they are thinking about like what they're actively about to do. I mean, him confirming Todd Blanche isn't going to do much for him, but him confirming Todd Blanche is basically probably, if we had to guess, the amount of political prosecutions that's about to come is probably about to be a lot because the political prosecutions have already started, and it's been over things that haven't really made a lot of sense. The Epstein files, he's clearly covering up for that. Like you hate him or love him, like, dude, these Epstein files are a problem. And like the idea that, we've seen all that we need to seen and that there's 3.5 million documents left, but that they're all just duplicates. I mean, the amount of problems surrounding Todd Blanche is crazy. And then what makes it even worse is we're pretending and we talk about it as if, Senator Cassidy, Mikowski, all these basically four senators on one side is the reason why he could have not been confirmed. But think about the moral bankruptcy on both sides of the aisle, by the way, but just specifically since we're talking about this video, the moral bankruptcy that is happening is crazy because that means that 48 people didn't care. They basically rubber stamped it. Why? Why doesn't all of this stuff that seems to matter to the American people, like the Epstein files, like political prosecutions, why are they so willing to overlook this stuff? That be my only kind of like it sends chills down my back because you kind of gotta wonder like what is it? Like we used to think and we used to talk about the deep state, right? And I feel like Trump was like a good mascot for the deep state as far as identifying that there is a group of people who are running a show that do things that we don't agree with as the American people, and that's just the way that it is and the way that it's been. But he's here to clear the swamp. But if you look at Todd Blanche and the way that he behaves like a swamp creature. And not only that, the administration does not talk about the deep state anymore. So it almost seems like the deep state is now the administration because they didn't just disappear. The deep state just doesn't disappear. Like you have to go after them. You have to put things in place, legislation in place. You have to expose different things in order to, for the American people to understand what's going on. This has not happened. Instead, we're still talking about like basically what you can expect from Todd Blanche probably is I don't know. Like the dude might try to like seize the voting machines like across every state or something. Who knows? And it's not because it makes sense. It's literally because he's telling you, I am the personal prosecutor and attorney of the president, and he doesn't shy away from that.
Next attorney general. As I always say, it's about the math. Once we learned here that Susan Collins a couple of days ago was a no and Lisa Murkowski was a no, it was down to one more Republican senator. Now, Mitch McConnell, the former Senate Majority Leader, he appears back in Washington right now, but he is not voting. And so, it's up to Bill Cassidy. He was the one person who is the
And isn't that just so not fair? It's not up to Bill Cassidy. It's up to the 52 Republican senators. We should stop looking at it like who's holding things up, who's the problem.
in his floor speech had been having these conversations, including just before this floor speech this morning with Todd Blanche, and indicated today in that emotional speech that he will vote yes. So by my calculation here, if there's no Democrats who change here and there's no Republicans who change their position, the vote when they have it should be 50 to 49, with Mitch McConnell being out, with all Democrats.
And once again, we have another party line vote. Like at some point, like you would think that, like, not saying that because I think the way that John Fetterman has went about things is atrocious. Like the way that he thinks he's like bucking the system is kind of like a rockhead, if you ask me. But that's just a different kind of conversation. But in general, you would think that these party line votes would get tiresome. That's why they want to break the filibuster so bad because instead of actually like trying to come together and publicly start some kind of relationship where it's like the problem solving caucus or whatever it is, where it's like 100 people from both sides and it's like, both chambers, like that's not what they're interested in. And I don't understand why, because a lot of the problems that we have aren't going away. Like it basically seemed like what they're doing is jumping from one side of the aisle to the other side of the aisle with their different priorities incoherently, wasting all our money. Basically, that's basically what they've decided to do over the last, like, I don't know, 25, 30, probably even longer years.
Two Republicans voting no, Collins and Murkowski. When might they do this? Well, they were supposed to have a procedural vote on that this morning. They haven't done that yet, but they could do this afternoon. And what we're seeing today overall in the Senate, as I said in my earlier report, is that they're really stepping on the gas on this slate of issues that they're trying to get wrapped up here: funding the government, Russia sanctions, and confirming Todd Blanche, maybe a couple of other things, but those were the big three, the hat trick of what they had to deal with there. And so maybe they would have, if they have that procedural vote, say later this afternoon.
So, I mean, there you have it. That's basically what the priority of the Senate is for Russia sanctions, confirming Todd Blanche. It's actually kind of crazy again that this is like what we've come to. I mean, I prayed today that like we don't have to deal with this stuff anymore because I mean it's tiresome. I mean it really is tiresome. Like as a voter, as a American citizen who really just wants the best for the country, it gets tiring to like watch this stuff and listen to this stuff and like the idea, and it really is like 3D chess too, because you don't know any of these people. We don't know any of these people. These people could be crackheads. Like, like we don't know. We have no idea who these people are. We vote them in, and then they go behind closed doors. And to be honest, majority of them all seem fake. They all seem fake. They all seem like they're unwilling to criticize their own party for the most part. Like, we're getting nowhere fast here, people. And I don't understand where we go from here, but we'll see how Todd Blanche performs. I'm sure he'll have a Senate hearing at some point, and we'll have to talk about that. But for now, I'm gonna leave it there. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Do y'all think that he deserves to be like? Do you think that he deserves a chance, or do you think that based off of his like short 2 year history of base, and well, really, it's a longer history than that since he was a personal lawyer. But let's just call it short, 6 months or however long he's been AG. Do you think that that history is enough to basically say no. I would be in the no camp, and I mean that's strictly just because of the Epstein files myself. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think is probably the worst case scenario? What's the best case scenario? And until then, we'll see you in another video.